This morning I was wrestling and praying, not really wrestling, but I was in my head, I was wrestling with what should I do my video on for this week? And it came to my mind that I'd had 3 conversations in the previous 2 days on the same topic. And people had said some variation of they were having a point of conflict with someone in their life, and that the person, well, that's just how they are, or that's just how they were raised, or, well, that's just, that's just them, that's their personality. And as I was praying this morning, it came to me, maybe talking about that. If we have behavior in our life that presents as sin or opposition to God's way, regardless of where we learned it, regardless of how entrenched in our personality it is, regardless of really anything, it's something that gets submitted to the lordship of Jesus in my life. I can't say, well, I'm sorry, this is just how I am, I'm Scottish, or I'm sorry, this is how I am because I was raised in this particular place and I've held these beliefs for a long time. The great thing about Christ is that anyone who is in Christ is a new creation, and that's in our standing with him, but then it's also in the working out of the sin nature. We get to become like Christ by making decisions to be obedient to him and to put into practice his ways, his means, his teachings, his commandments, and mimicking or copying or following as a disciple his behaviors towards others. And as such, I stop resembling the way I was raised as much, or I stop resembling, well, that's just how I am, or that's just my personality, because I start taking on the characteristics, the traits, if you will, of Christ. And I become more like that than just the guy who had fallen in sin, who was born with a sin nature and walked in the flesh. Instead, I get to be like Jesus, and my past behavior does not have to dictate my future behavior and how I act and live towards other people. Some food for thought.